Hi, I'm Zevi Saunders and this is my video blog. This week's Sedra is Parshas Metzora, and it starts by dealing with the purification process of a man or a woman who was diagnosed with tsaras that we covered in last week's Sedra. Once the Kohen has determined that his tsaras has healed, he has to come to the temple. He takes 2 birds, he takes a bark of a cedar blast, and he takes a hyssop and he has to sprinkle them in water, and they are dipped and thrown over him 7 times. He then has to wait 8 days, and then he has to bring a couple of animals. One of them is for a sin offering and a guilt offering and an elevation offering. They take from the blood and they put it on his right earlobe, his right thumb, and his big toe. They also take some oil, sprinkle it again on his right earlobe, his right thumb, and his right big toe. The rest of the oil is just dumped on his head. He also has to shave his head, his body, his eyebrows, and the ideas behind this is that the reason why he was brought to have this sin of tsaras is because of haughtiness, is because of speaking evil about his friend, and birds, they symbolize chattering, they talk. Cedar wood is the tallest tree, it's very tall. It's the idea that you must remember these are the things that cause you to sin and you must rectify them. If somebody cannot afford all of these animals, there are cheaper options available. We then go on to learn the laws of tumah, spiritual contamination. Certain people emit certain bodily tumos, and the dinim and the laws, if they touch things, if they sit on things, people touch them, one of the laws. I understand spiritual contamination a bit like radiation. In the same way as radiation, you cannot see, you cannot smell, you cannot feel, yet it causes detrimental problems, as we have seen recently with the incidents in Japan. Same is with spiritual tumah. You can't see it, can't feel it, can't smell it, but it's certainly there, and unless you go through the purification in the mikveh or the animals that you have to bring, you don't get rid of it. Now, in the middle between these 2 items is the laws of somebody whose house gets the appearance of tsaras, these type of green or red glows to the house, and there's a process that has to be gone through. You have to take out the brick. If it grows back, you have to take it out again. If it grows back, they have to knock down the house. That's very interesting that Rashi, quoting from the Medrash, says that this knocking down the house was actually a blessing, because they would find the treasures which the Canaanim hid when the Jews came to kill them, and he would be really pleased that he had all this money. And let's think about this for a minute. Can you imagine the embarrassment? Everybody can see he's got this dark mark on his house. He's got to leave his house. He's got to empty all his possessions. And then eventually he's got to knock down his house. Can you imagine the shame, the embarrassment, the pain? Oh no, my house. But yet, he finds this treasure. Can you imagine out of the depths of despair, he's like, yay, look at all this stuff, it's great. And I think that's a lesson for life. Sometimes God punishes us and causes us to go through pain and problems and suffering and embarrassment. But there is reward at the end of it. There is a bounty, a beauty, just like this guy found in the world to come. And may I give us all a blessing that even though we get troubled and we have problems and God punishes us, we should be merited to see our great rewards in the world to come.